What's going on? It's Danny Rainmaker Dominguez, the Houston Realtor, coming with you for another important video. As usual, my videos are essential and geared to benefit you in all aspects of life. And for this one, we will be talking about something that you can relate to and apply immediately. This video talks about ways to make money off owning a home, how to make money off of your house. So number one, obviously, is you have to get a house. You have to buy a property, or at least get into the possession of a property. Legally, of course. We always preach legal on this channel. So everyone knows, real estate is an asset class where it is considered to be one of the most accessible and less risky assets out of most asset classes. This one is considered to be, in many cases, the best asset class, in my opinion, at least. And the reason why is, I quote, real estate consistently increases in value over time and outperforms other assets. So a lot of people consider real estate to be a building block for wealth for that reason, because it consistently increases in value over time. If you look at the data, you can continue to see rising appreciation in real estate. That is because obviously everyone needs a place to live. So because of that, and the cost of living and inflation, the prices and the values of real estate have to go up. Doesn't matter if there's a crash, statistically and historically, values have always gone up. Also, I quote, real estate is a bankable asset, so you can always leverage it. It also doesn't tie up a lot of cash. You can put down as little as 10% and use banks' money to grow your investment. With such low interest rates, that's like free money. So everyone knows right now we are at historic lows when it comes to interest rates, and no other asset can you put 10% down and leverage the remaining amount, the remaining 90% of it. So another quote here is, unlike the stock market, where many factors are out of your control, your investment can't disappear overnight. You can also build your wealth with excellent return rates and tax advantages. Unlike stocks, you do not have tax advantages. So yes, stocks are exciting, absolutely, but they can't disappear overnight, unlike real estate. So let's get started. Number one way to make money. Now this is not in chronological order, this is just in random order. Number one is the most obvious one, and that is renting the entire house. Pretty straightforward. Basically buying a house, fixing it up a little bit possibly, and then renting the house for a certain amount, usually or should be higher than the mortgage payment, because you want to make money, so it should be higher than the mortgage payment. And therefore, the difference is the cash flow that you put in your pocket. Why is that important? Because that, not only do you have advantages with taxes, but you also have advantages when it comes to the house itself and the appreciation. So that is, one way to make money. Now, of course, it's a little bit more complicated than that. You do have to figure out the market value for rent in that area. Maybe there is certain repairs you need to do to bring up that value. How many beds and baths does it have, things of that nature. Also, taxes, you need to pay those. You need to figure out how much your gases are, your expenses per month. So it's not as simple as that, but generally speaking, for this video and these purposes, we're going to have just a broad approach to it, just so you guys know ways to make money. And then maybe we'll break them down in another video. So number one is renting the entire house. Number two, renting a room. What about buying a house, renting one room while maybe you live in the rest of the house? Many people, believe it or not, look for rooms as opposed to looking for entire houses because many of them don't qualify or many of them don't have the money to do it. So they look for rooms. And so that can be a viable option for you if you have a house that has a lot of rooms, or you're okay with people being in your house, and of course you're able to screen them and things of that nature. So, with that being said, renting a room is an option. Or in many cases, people don't live in the house and they rent an entire house by the room. That is also another approach that you can entertain when you have a house. Number three, living on one side and renting the extra unit. So this more applies to having an extra property on the land or the lot. So for example, maybe a garage unit or in-law unit, or maybe you have a duplex. This applies great for duplexes because you can live on one side, or triplexes or multi-units, sorry. You can live on one unit and rent out the other units. So you can be living in one unit while the other units are rented out. However, the whole property is still yours. This is considered in many circles as house hacking. That again is another video in itself, and that's just a strategy that people use to reduce their expenses for housing, which is very smart, believe it or not, because you get the benefits of the real estate, and then you get the benefits of the cash flow and of the living expenses. I'm sorry, the living opportunities or the living advantages. So that's number three. Number four, Airbnb or VRBO. These are relatively new to people who have been in the real estate game for a while, and more, if I had to sum it up, it's more like making your house or your property into a hotel. So it's more of a style of hotel. That's kind of the way it is, and a lot of people like Airbnb for obvious reasons. One of them being that it's less expensive than going to a hotel in many cases. So people tend to gravitate to an Airbnb, and I know a lot of people that make great money with Airbnb. And Airbnb is a great option if you have property, because it allows you to leverage ways to make income while also owning the property, if that makes sense. So not only do you make money cash flow monthly, but you also make money with the appreciation. You also make money with the tax benefits. There are a lot of benefits to owning property. And number five is a little out there, but this one you can apply if you have a really nice house. So what about doing photo shoots or events at the house? Maybe people pay you to come over, and they maybe throw parties, or maybe they throw certain things or events, fundraisers, things of that nature. And you get benefited from them because it's still your property, and they come over and they pay you to be there, you know? So at the end of the day, I mean, there's so many ways to make money while you own something as opposed to borrowing something, or should I say rent something? Because even if you rent, you're not even really borrowing. There's actually more benefit to borrowing something than there is to renting something. So ownership is what is important here, okay? So with that being said, let's review. Number one, renting an entire house, so leasing the house. Renting by the room, so having multiple rooms, renting each room for a certain amount. For example, you have 3 rooms in a bed in a house. Maybe you can rent each room for $500 or $700 or $600. You know, if it's $500, $1,500 a month, you know, for just renting the room, each room. It's not bad. How about number 3, living on one side and renting the extra unit? This applies more to multi-units. 4, Airbnb or VRBO. So if you have a house, you can Airbnb it, make money off of that, quick money, good money, and you still own the house. And number 5, photo shoots and events. Holding photo shoots, holding certain events at your house, more specific to nicer houses, but things of that nature can help you make money off of your house. So with that being said, if you think this information is valuable, leave a comment below, subscribe, and let me know if there's anything else you need me to talk about. The Houston Realtor here, and at your service, coming at you with another video, and see you guys soon. Peace.